We are going to be delving into the fashion industry's problem with dead stock. We're going to be talking about what it is and how a nonprofit organization is trying to combat this issue. Welcome to Sewing Report Live. I'm Jen, your host, where every week we go over the latest in the world of sewing and crafting news. If you're kind of new here, typically we have at least one main topic, but we also cover a few other things as well. So if that sounds good to you, stay tuned. You can also participate in the chat or leave a comment if you are watching on the replay. And just a few quick housekeeping rules. If you are participating in the chat or leaving a comment afterwards, I just ask that you be polite, respectful to myself and everyone here. Try to stick to the topics. No politics, no self-promotion, no spam, and no links of any kind. Welcome. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. Yeah, it's another week. I cannot believe it's Sunday night again. So, all right, we are going to get this show on the road, and I do want to let you guys know tonight's show is sponsored by the Sewing Report Etsy shop, where you can directly support this show and videos on the main Sewing Report channel by purchasing your fabric and sewing supplies directly from me. You can find my shop at sewingreport.etsy.com, and I just listed a lot of fabric over the past few days, so that's something I've been working on. So we've got some quilting cotton, and I'm starting to sell fabric by the yard now. So I've got fabric by the yard. I've got a new Cloud 9 Glimmer Solids Fat Quarter Bundle. This is beautiful fabric. We've got knits, got rayons. I also have a few more rayons to list, so that is pretty exciting. So lots of stuff. We've got sew-in labels, and one of the latest videos on the main channel is all about giving you guys ideas on how to use these sew-in labels. Got plenty of supplies, everything from pins to marking pens to sew tights, lots of different things. You can also find some of my affiliate partners down below in the description box if you would also like to help support the work we do here at Sewing Report Live. All right, so let's get started. I am excited. So we're going to talk all about this because I found this, I found this news piece about the fashion industry's dead stock problem. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, all right, let's get right into it. Now, for copyright, I cannot show you the news piece. It's a CBS news piece. I cannot show you the whole thing because I think the likelihood of getting copyright claims is pretty high on this. So what I did was I took some notes on the piece. Also, everything I talk about is linked down below in the description box if you want to check out some of the resources. So I've kind of compiled them all, and they're down in the info box there if you want to check that out. All right, so here's the CBS news piece, and I will sort of skip through to a few parts just so you can see what's going on. So
shop. Inside fabric.
So here they are at the Carolina Herrera
sewed
workshop, and so I took a few notes, and this is a big problem. Like, this really is an issue. So I took a few notes. So dead stock is, and dead stock can be anything from fabric to unfinished goods to products that don't sell. So dead stock can also be any sort of consumer product that goes unsold. And a lot of this stuff gets trashed. Like, let's be real. A lot of this stuff goes into a landfill, or, I've even heard of companies destroying merchandise, burning it. I don't know how legit those rumors are, but we've even heard rumors about sewing pattern companies. If the patterns don't sell, the stores are supposed to cut up the patterns so that nobody can use them. And it's unfortunate because these are items that were produced, they're already made, and then to destroy the item or just throw it out seems super wasteful. So dead stock is inventory that's unlikely to sell, unfinished goods, or raw materials. And the fashion industry has a lot of this. So they rattled off some statistics in this news piece. 12% of all fabric created worldwide gets wasted in the design process. So I guess from, if you're cutting out patterns, you get those little bits that you're cutting around, or, fabric that, maybe there's a problem with it or you make a mistake. So 12% of all fabric created worldwide just gets wasted. 2 billion pounds a year is wasted before clothing is even produced. Like, what's up with that? Out of the estimated 150 billion garments produced per year, I had no idea it was that much. So if you want to go ahead after this show, or, if you want to pause this and watch the CBS News piece, this was some of the information that was presented during the package. So yeah, I didn't know it was 150 billion garments produced per year. I had no idea it was that astronomical. Up to 30% of those garments are never sold or worn. So about 1/3 is either never gets sold or never gets used. And much of it ends up in landfills and incinerators. So I did not know the stats were that crazy, but 150, all right, so we've got the world has 6 billion people. I really want to know, do we really need 150 billion garments per year produced? That's a lot. That just seems like a ton. And not everyone, I don't know, that just seems like a crazy amount. I did not know it was that much. I mean, that's a lot of clothing even per person. And a lot of the people that live on planet Earth do not live in first world countries. So they're not the ones participating in this level of consumerism. So 150, so that's definitely, okay, so let me do the math on this. So let's say there's 6 billion people on planet Earth. That might be an outdated number. So if it's 150 billion per year, and there's 6 billion people on the world, that's 25 garments per year per person. And we all know that a lot of that that's not distributed equally. So that's a lot. I mean, that's just a lot of garments, in my opinion. All right, so some other notes I took. All right, I'll kind of put this back on the screen here. So some of the other notes I took. Okay, so the point of this story, so they interviewed a few different people, and one of the people interviewed for this piece was one of the founders of a nonprofit organization called FABSCRAP. All right, let me try to skip ahead. So here's the Carolina Herrera workshop.
Founded the nonprofit in 2016.
Okay, so here she is.
Along with Camille Tagle. Tagle used to work as a fashion designer. She left looking for a solution to the amount of waste created.
So I thought this was super. I had not heard of this organization before, but I was really glad I randomly stumbled across this news story on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. So FABSCRAP is a nonprofit organization, and what they do is it's based in the New York City area, and I believe in Philadelphia, and they go around to all of these designers, these clothing manufacturers in the New York City area and Philadelphia, and they actually take all of the stuff that these companies, these designers don't want. So leftover fabric, they pick up dead stock, they pick up the little pieces, and then they figure out what to do with it. So I thought that was super interesting. And yeah, I was like, that's a cool solution to an actual problem. So yeah, I would highly encourage you to check out the full news piece. Okay, so here's some notes I took. And again, I'm not playing the whole news story because I don't want to get copyright claimed on it. So FABSCRAP picks up all of these material, a lot of materials. Some of it's they even get a lot of bolts of fabric. So they're picking up material and fabric and even notions and finished garments, unfinished garments, maybe things that have a mistake in it. And then they will figure out what to do with it. So what they do with the material, so some of the material they pick up is donated to other local nonprofits, maybe programs that need fabric for their projects. I don't know, something like that. some of the material, like I imagine like the small bits is shredded for insulation, carpet padding, and mattress stuffing, which actually is a pretty good idea. Like if you have all of these, and that made me think too that maybe in my own sewing consumption, I think what I'm going to start to do is take little bits of fabric and maybe save it and use it as stuffing. Like maybe I'll cut it up real small or something. I'm not exactly sure. But I feel like I could probably use it as stuffing for, various things. So I've got some ideas. And actually that gave me some inspo on how I could use some of my small fabric scraps. The ones that are too small to do anything with. But I'm going to start saving them and see if maybe I could just use them as stuffing in various sewing projects. So that's something that I was really inspired by. So another thing they do is they also have an in-house store where they sell fabric directly to customers. So I thought that was also really neat because I imagine that the designers and the businesses that are providing all of the materials, I imagine they're giving it to FABSCRAP for free. And it's probably also some sort of like a charitable donation for these companies, like the designers like Carolina Herrera. I imagine it's got to be a tax write-off somehow. So I think everybody wins. And I thought this was really neat. And I cannot believe I've never heard of this organization before because I do think the mission is something that I think is very positive. So, and because they're getting this material for free, pretty much, they're able to sell it to people like us, people who sew for a really good deal. So I thought that was really amazing. And that's why I really wanted to share this with you because I think FABSCRAP is just a really cool sounding organization. All right, so let me bring this back up again here. So here's the rest of the piece. Let me see if I can find. Okay, so here's the FABSCRAP. What is the FABSCRAP? And some of the fabric is like really, like it's very
Here,
nice.
FABSCRAP collects hundreds of thousands of pounds of dead
So, I mean,
stock
check this
throughout New
out.
York City, from brands such as Coach, Marc Jacobs, and J. Crew.
I mean, who doesn't love this? And this is kind of a win-win situation. They're saving probably, I imagine, over a few years period, probably millions of pounds of material that would otherwise be thrown out, and they're finding different ways to use it, and they're helping these businesses dispose of material that they're not going to use in a more sustainable way. So I think that's really neat. Hey, this is a good idea, Lisa. I would love a home, like I was kind of thinking when you're taking little bits of fabric, it would be cool because you can take scissors and like try to shred the fabric. It's going to take you a while. A home fabric shredder would be really interesting. And then you could use those little bits as stuffing for like stuffed animals or for like pretty much anything. Like I was thinking of trying to make some, so a lot of people with handbags, they'll stuff tissue paper or those air pillows inside handbags. And I was thinking there are some companies out there that sell handbag pillows. So they're basically like, pillows that fit your exact handbag, and then it helps the bag keep its shape. I was thinking about trying to make a few for some of my bags and using scrap fabric to do it. Why not? But that's a really great idea. I think somebody needs to come up with a home fabric shredder. That would be an excellent idea. So that was something that I was thinking about, but I want to show you the FABSCRAP website. So let me bring this up here. And by the way, so FABSCRAP, I discovered when I was researching for this show, I discovered FABSCRAP has an affiliate program. So I signed up. So I'm now a FABSCRAP affiliate. And I think this is awesome because I can promote an organization that I think has a really good mission. And it also allows me to share it with my audience here. I win because there is affiliate commission. And you guys get to shop for some really cool fabrics. I was looking at the website. They have some really good stuff. Like, I'm probably going to order some things just to try it out. So this is the FABSCRAP website here. So here's more about the organization. And they're having some sort of silent auction. I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, but I saw them posting about it on Instagram. So check out the website. There's a link in this chat and also in the description box. It is an affiliate link, but I thought it was nice that they offer an affiliate program for people like myself, content creators, influencers, to be able to share this with our audiences. So all fab scrap material is saved from landfill. FABSCRAP diverts thousands of pounds of commercial textile waste from landfills every week. These pre-consumer materials are often in perfect condition. And I was looking at the fabric, and they have some beautiful fabric. And there's also many different ways to purchase. They have yarn, they have remnants, they've got packs of fabric, like colors. They sell bolts of fabric. I think they occasionally sell bolts. They sell trims and notions, upholstery fabric. They also sell like mendable, like these are things I imagine were made by a clothing company, but for some reason is not in saleable condition. Like maybe they made a mistake or something else. Yeah, they have yard packs of fabric. I mean, and the prices are pretty good. They've got scrap packs if you want to practice. They sell leather, wholesale fabric by the roll. So a lot of different things. I think this is an awesome model. So here is more about it. So about their model. So they have a recycling service. We accept drop-offs and provide local pickups in New York City and Philly to collect our clients' unwanted material. Volunteers help us sort through incoming material, which is either shredded into shoddy or made available for reuse. And I believe one of the benefits for volunteering with FABSCRAP is that you get free fabric. So if you live in the New York City or Philly area and you want to volunteer for FABSCRAP, you can get free fabric. So let's see, what is shoddy? I'm curious. So I think that's the shredded material. Okay, here we go. Oh, and you can actually buy that too. So you can actually purchase the stuffing. So that's actually pretty neat. Like, I would totally use this for stuffing. I think that's cool. I wonder how much you get. Okay, so it's a ½ pound. That's really cool. Select yes for additional 25-cent packaging to contain your scraps. That's really cool. So I believe this is for, okay, I'm not really sure what the extra 25 cents is. So this is for a ½ pound of shoddy. So shoddy, it's a product of FABSCRAP's recycling initiatives. This shoddy is composed of mixed fibers which have been shredded from small scraps of fabric, perfect for various stuffing uses. And that's actually a pretty good price for stuffing. That's fairly cheap. Because I purchase stuffing and it's usually like polyester. So, I mean, they have a lot of ways you can shop. So you can shop fabric by the yard packs, scrap packs, leather, fur, pieces, trims, yarn, mendables. They have merch. You can buy wholesale. You can donate. So a lot of different things. And yeah, I want to show you guys some of the fabric by the yard because, actually, let's go back to this tab. All right, so shop and reuse. Customers are able to shop recycled material in person at our Brooklyn and Philly warehouses and here online. And then they also do educational workshops. So FABSCRAP facilitates education around waste in the fashion industry as well as upcycling techniques. I just think this is really awesome. And I'm super happy that I happened to stumble upon that CBS News piece. But let me show you some of the fabric because it is really nice fabric. And I guess and some of the yarn actually looks pretty cool if you knit or crochet or want something like that. But their fabric by the yard is it's very nice fabric. And think about it. This stuff comes from high-end designers. So some of it might come from like Carolina Herrera or like other designer brands. So you're getting expensive fabrics. Yeah, you're getting expensive designer fabrics on the cheap through FABSCRAP. And you're supporting their cause. So I think this is super amazing. Again, my affiliate link is in the description box. And it's also in the chat here. How awesome is this sale? I fully support this. I think this is really cool. Yeah, look they've got metallic fills. They've got crinkled silk brocade. This upholstery fabric actually looks pretty cool. They've got lining fabrics, velveteen. And I've noticed they're putting up new stuff all the time. So if you check back on the website, you're going to see new fabric probably every day. Stretch twill. I mean, this is really nice. This is very nice fabric. Okay, they got sequin mesh for $15 a yard. These prices are pretty good in my opinion, especially considering the fact that a lot of it is coming from high-end designers. I mean, look, there's so much stuff. Let's click on something. All right, here's a navy pinstripe shirting. That's really nice fabric. All right, it's burn test. And they also, I noticed they have a lot of information. I hate when you're at a fabric website and there's next to no info. But they really go out of their way to tell you about the fabric. Navy cotton shirting with thin beige stripes, woven stripes, burn-tested mixed synthetic natural content, 45 inches in width. This shirting is lightweight and has no stretch, suitable for light top weight apparel. So they actually give you a good amount of information about the fabric so that you're not like, what the heck is this? So I think that's really awesome. All right, let me go back to the last page. All right, here's some lightweight chambray. Like, this is beautiful. All right, so this is burn-tested natural cellulosic content, 60 inches wide. Lightweight, has no stretch. I mean, that's a really nice fabric, too. So they have a lot of things, and you can purchase by the yard. I mean, this is... You know, you guys are always asking, where can I shop for fabrics? Where can I get reasonably priced fabrics? And these fabrics appear to be very good quality at a good price. So, oh, by the way, thank you so much, Debbie, for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I think my rabbit is up to some trouble. I'm going to leave Debbie's super sticker up here for a second. I think my rabbit is I think she's... Yeah, I gotta check on her real quick. Hold on a second. I gotta just make sure everything's cool. Okay, I'm back. The rabbit was trying to eat plastic. That was not good. So she is, she's back in her space for a little bit. So, but yeah, so I think FABSCRAP looks really fantastic. I like the mission. And I think what they're doing is awesome. And yeah, the store looks awesome. Check out the store because I'm always getting asked where to shop for fabric online. Where can you get good deals on fabric? Fabric is getting a lot more expensive. And the prices on FABSCRAP are really, they're very good. And they're getting a lot of different types of fabric. And they're getting fabric that's very high end. And it looks like fun fabric. So it's getting harder and harder to find quality fabric. So I thought I would let you guys know about that. Again, I did sign up for their affiliate program, but just to be clear, I don't know anyone at FABSCRAP. They didn't approach me or anything. I just happened to see this news story and I was like, that looks pretty cool. So then I started digging around and finding the website. And it looks like a really nice, you know, it looks like a nice online fabric store. I don't know how much the shipping is. Let me go back to the website here. But this looks really cool. Yeah, like I want to try to I think I'm going to try to place an order myself just to see how my purchasing experience is. But some of this fabric looks really cool. Yeah, look at this. And I really like that they take these small scraps and they found something else to do with it. But yeah, Lisa, I think that's a really good idea. I would love to have some sort of way to shred my fabric to make little bits out of it. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Because that's my problem, is that sometimes I'll get fabric scraps, but like the idea of like trying to shred it myself to getting like usable little pieces for stuffing is kind of a daunting task. So it would be kind of nice to have some sort of way to do that for like all the little pieces you have. So I think that's pretty, you know, yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. Okay, so I already got Mary. You said the shipping is high. Okay, that is, you know, I can kind of understand that shipping fabric is really, it's pretty expensive because the fabric tends to be heavy. So I'll have to check, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's one downside. The fabric prices from the get-go do seem pretty good. I can see why the shipping would be expensive, though. I ship fabric myself for the Etsy shop, and it is not, because it's heavy. It's heavy, and because it will take up a lot of space. Like, it takes up a lot of volume, especially the more you buy. So say you're getting like 5 pounds of upholstery fabric, it's going to be pretty expensive to ship. So it's not like they're, you know, just in their defense, it's not because they're trying to like gouge you on the shipping. That's really how much shipping costs. Shipping is not cheap, especially for anything that's heavy and takes up a lot of volume. So I can say that. Yes, the rabbit, she was being a little bit naughty. So she sometimes, and I don't know why she's trying to eat plastic. It just doesn't make any sense. What about ironing on butcher paper and running it through a paper shredder? I don't know. I think that would take a lot of work. I don't know. Plus, once you run it through paper shredder, then it would have like paper in there too. I don't know. I think there's gotta be like a better way, I think. I know. There's gotta be a better way, I'm thinking. So, but yeah, I like the fact that they sell stuffing as well. I think that's pretty cool. And if you are in the New York City area, you can just go there and then not have to pay for shipping. So, if you do live in the area, I think that would be a cool thing to do. All right, there was a store in New York where you can buy the pound designer leftover scraps. Yeah, and I love seeing something like this where you can purchase stuff that these clothing companies are not going to use. I think that's really, really cool. So let me bring this back up here. Yeah, let's check out some more of the fabric. Like, this fabric looks like it. All right, so the upholstery fabric, this would also be good for home deck stuff and whatnot. So this actually, like, some of the fabrics are really beautiful. So I'm thinking about placing an order just to see like what shows up. I don't know. But I mean, look at they've got velvet. This is very nice fabric. Luxe velvet upholstery. Like, that would be great for like pillow covers or something like that, or, you know, doing some chairs or something. I mean, they've got some really nice stuff on this website. Let's check out some of the, let's see, natural fabrics. I mean, look at this. This is really nice. Like, this isn't like crazy taste specific fabric. This is like very nice fabric that, oh, this is cute. Pink, white stripe. I mean, this is cool. All right, it's got some stretch to it. This is like very nice fabric. I was really surprised because I was not expecting the fabric to be this appealing, but the fabric is, it looks like it's pretty good quality. I think the prices aren't bad, especially considering that they're getting it straight from designers. I think this is pretty, yeah, I'd love to buy some of this stuff. All right, what kind of fabric is this? All right, tested. So this is some sort of a natural fabric. Okay. Yeah, and you could use this even like velvet. You could use it for home deck, you could use it, I guess, jacket weight, apparel, accessories, and interior design use. So yeah, check it out. They've got a lot of cool stuff. The trim section actually surprised me too. They've got lots of stuff. Okay, they have thread. I mean, they have a lot of stuff. And the prices are pretty good. So yeah, decent prices. Again, the shipping might be a bit, but I do think you make out okay because you're getting designer quality stuff. And the price, like the upfront price, is pretty reasonable. So here's the mendable section. So you can get jeans. So if you want like stuff for, you know, if you want to practice mending clothes or you just want to try to upcycle stuff, this could be a good option too. So I just think this is a really cool thing. All right, here's shipping frequently. Okay. Yeah, the shipping rates are calculated by weight. So yeah, the more a package weighs, like, I can't even tell you, like, in my experience running an Etsy shop, it's not worth it to me to sell anything that weighs a lot and takes up a lot. Like, it's not worth it for me to sell anything that's bulky and is heavy. That's just the reality of it. So I tend not to sell a lot of those types of items in the shop just because the shipping costs would, you know, just, I would be losing money by selling heavy items that are big. So I can kind of understand that. Yeah, Vanessa. Yeah, I would love to be able to buy. So yeah, you can buy some of this fabric, and I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I accidentally like X'd out of my Google Chrome, so I think I accidentally exited the whole thing. So, all right, where was I? All right. Yeah, check out some of the FABSCRAP. I think it looks like a really good option for fabric. I do. I think it looks pretty cool. All right, I got to try to refresh some. Oh man. All right, I got to try to reload some of this stuff. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. Our Sewing Guild saves scraps and stuffs pillowcases and donates those to animal shelters for pet pets. That's a really good idea. But yeah, I might try to do some like purse pillows. And that's a small way I could use some of my scraps. But yeah, I feel like I'd have to like cut them into little bits to make them usable scraps. Yeah, I don't know, but it is kind of, I can imagine it's going to be kind of time consuming to do that. So that is a good point there. Good point. I've tried cutting down scraps for dog beds, but it was way too time consuming. Any engineers out there? Yes, a fabric shredder. Somebody come up with that. Kickstarter, Indiegogo, something like that. Seems like a fabric shredder wouldn't be that hard to come up with. That would be great for all your little pieces. Somebody out there needs to start selling that. I would report on that if somebody wants to invent that and everything. That would be pretty cool. So I would absolutely love that. I would love that. All right, sorry guys. I got to reload some of my windows. I don't know. I accidentally X'd out of Google Chrome, so I got like kicked out of everything. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, good point. This is real recycling instead of just moving crap around the world and dumping. Yeah, and that's what I wonder too. Like when you donate stuff to Goodwill, like I've heard that a lot of it doesn't, you know, I don't even know how much that helps, but I really like that FABSCRAP actually finds a way to reuse a lot of this material. Oh, and there's another one. All right, there was another person that was mentioned in this CBS News piece. So let me bring this up, because I thought this was pretty interesting as well. There's someone named Stephanie Benedetto, and she has been nicknamed the Queen of Raw. So let me bring this up here, because I thought this was pretty cool. Okay. So Stephanie was also featured in the piece. Stephanie Benedetto leads the charge on Deadstock. So she, I believe, is some sort of an attorney. Stephanie Benedetto is leading the industry in circular fashion as the co-founder of Queen of Raw, an award-winning software that takes action on excess inventory, measures and reports, and turns pollution into profit. Let's see here. Benedetto shares her insight on the current landscape of this market and the opportunities and benefits of working with excess fabric. So what she does is she helps companies figure out materials that they're not using, and she tries to find buyers for that material. She says, I had a factory and saw firsthand the massive amount of waste and breaks in complex supply chains. There are valuable resources sitting in warehouses collecting dust or being burned or sent for combustion. And organizations all over the world are looking for access to these materials. I realize this is just a supply-demand mismatch, and we could use technology to bridge the gap across industries and around the world. I left my job as a Wall Street attorney to tackle the problem head-on and build a solution for people, planet, and profit. All right, can all brands, big or small, begin using Deadstock as part of their design practices? There is no company too big or too small to take advantage of integrating rescued fabrics into their designs or to sell excess inventory that's no longer needed. We have large enterprise clients with millions of meters of high-quality materials, which match well with other large brands looking to create entire Deadstock collections. And we have smaller designers looking to create limited edition Deadstock pieces, but can't commit to large, expensive orders. Leveraging our proprietary software, Materia MX, they can get access to what they need, when they need it, and drive the project from start to finish. Realizing that all change is good change, we also offer a more basic membership in our software and network for smaller businesses who are looking to sell or purchase excess inventory but don't need comprehensive ESG reporting or global supply chain integrations and inventory management. Oh my gosh. So, wow, $288 billion problem of excess. That's a lot of money. And your design save valuable water, chemicals, carbon emissions, and waste. So this is pretty, yeah, so Stephanie seems like a pretty interesting person. Okay. All right, how would you encourage a fashion brand to move the needle forward when it comes to sustainable material use? We work together with fashion brands and designers to make a difference in the way they conduct business and who and what they work with. Small changes like who you use for shipping, how goods are packaged, your materials choices, and how you manufacture are powerful. I think this is interesting. Deadstock is no longer a dirty word. Selling and rescuing excess inventory and fabric is an exciting opportunity that is uniting the fashion industry's largest players and singular outliers. Creating Deadstock collections, that's an interesting thing to do. Using, like, your whole business model is using other businesses' Deadstock. That's pretty cool. And collaborations is helping a competitive industry work together to initiate circularity while fixing an age-old problem that has grown to epic proportions. Together we will change the world. Yeah, I think this is awesome. Good for Stephanie. So here is the website, queenofraw.com. At Queen of Raw, so Queen of Raw's software, Materia MX, the ERP of excess inventory. At Queen of Raw, we are committed to making the circular economy easy for everyone to participate in. So yeah, she helps brands try to make their manufacturing and footprint more sustainable. So I think this is pretty cool. So here's some of the businesses she's worked with. So I mean, I think this is neat. Turn Deadstock into dollars. Oh. So she helps match up business partners, maybe someone that's selling stuff to someone that wants to buy Deadstock. And all in all, this is better for, this is better for everyone. Resale, recycle, and reuse. And it also helps these businesses get more efficient if they're not just throwing out their Deadstock, but if they can actually sell it. That makes sense too. So yeah. Okay, so here's Deadstock. So okay, I wonder if you could just buy this. Can you just buy this on the website? Is there just a shop? Can you just shop here? It kind of looks like you can. I did not know that. So maybe you can shop. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Queen of Raw. I did not even know this, but you can actually shop fabric on this website as well. So this is another resource if you want to get fabric from brands. Lambskin leather and cappuccino from Turkey, one hide. That's interesting. So they sell all kinds of stuff on this website. And leather's pretty expensive too. They've got all kind. Wow, so you can actually shop this website. Again, I don't know how much the shipping is for this, but you can shop here. And okay, so here is United. Let's narrow it down to United States here. Let's see here. So yeah, you can shop stuff here. Wow, I had no idea. So this is interesting. So you can, this is another place where you can shop online for dead stock fabric. So again, we're learning a lot. I didn't even see this earlier that you could purchase fabric on here. But you can purchase fabric on queenofraw.com. So that's really good to know too. So a lot of different options. And I think it's really great to see people, nonprofit organizations, and all of these fashion businesses coming together to try to cut down on the waste. I think that's a good thing. But yeah, very cool stuff. And I was really glad I stumbled upon that, that news piece. All right. All right. Jenny's getting inky with it. In the papercraft industry, they just sell the leftover stuff to a discount retailer type store, and they sell with deep discounts, makes crafting more affordable for people with lower income. Yeah, and that's fantastic, because I would rather see them do that than destroy inventory and throw it away. Like, why? That just, you know, like I've heard of a lot of high-end brands doing it because they don't want to like cheapen their brands. They don't want their stuff to sell for cheap, but at the same time, that's just so extremely wasteful. And a lot of people are starting to side-eye that kind of business practice because to the average consumer, they're just like, this is really, you know, strange. Like, this is very strange. So, you know, it is, yeah, it is what it is. I think that's super, super interesting. Super interesting stuff. I am definitely going to be checking out FABSCRAP though and seeing if I can pick up some cool fabric there. And then I will definitely do kind of like a video for the main Sewing Report channel and maybe, you know, try to use some of the stuff to make something cool. So that's my plans. They had some really nice, the upholstery fabric would be really beautiful for like home decor and like pillows and that sort of thing. I thought the velvet fabric was really pretty. It was very pretty. You could do like all kinds of, I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff with that. So that was pretty cool. Very cool. And again, thank you, Debbie, for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate that. That really helps. Direct donations. The show is fan funded. Obviously, the only sponsor I have for the show is my own Etsy shop. So everything does help. This is an independent show. And I need to be able to say whatever I want here and report on what's going on. And it would be a lot harder to do if I just tried to get a bunch of sponsors, especially because, you know, I'm reporting on a lot of these brands that, you know, there would definitely be a conflict of interest. So it's been kind of tough with my channels. So I greatly appreciate super chats, super stickers. Very, 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 very grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Debbie. All right, let's read some more of the chat here. I've got Tired of Trolls here. I got M. Cow. I've had this hair color for about a month now. I feel like it's a little too blonde. I think the next time I go in, I'm gonna, you know, tell my hairstylist, like these two blonde, I feel like these blonde pieces are a little much. I don't know. I'm fine with the overall color, but I feel like the front is a little bit too light for my taste. So, oh, thank you, Lisa. Yes, I think Deadstock. I was really fascinated, and I also like reading and watching documentaries about like just all of the waste in the fashion industry, fast fashion, the pollution. I mean, it's super crazy. It's just super crazy. All right, chopping fabric for stuffing is, yeah, does anyone have tips for chopping up the fabric to make the stuffing. I liked Lisa's idea of the fabric shredder. Somebody needs to invent that. I would purchase one and just, I could just sit there and shred. I have a paper shredder that I use to shred like sensitive documents and stuff. But a paper shredder or a fabric shredder would be great because then I could use all of my fabric scraps, my little scraps, and just make stuffing for projects. Because that's the thing, you feel stupid buying stuffing for projects because you're like, I could probably just make something. So it does feel a little counterproductive because, yeah, you could buy, like, we all have a lot of scraps. So if there was some sort of shredder or even like a place you could go to get your stuff shredded, that would be cool too. But yeah, like, I don't want to just sit there with a pair of scissors and chop stuff into tiny pieces. Like, I think that could be I think that'd be very counterproductive too. Have gave them away for free, but sometimes I can't find a taker. Yeah, and everyone's got fabric that they would want to give away. Let's be real. We all do. And it's kind of a delicate balance because I think these solutions have to be practical and deal in reality. And the reality is that most of us aren't going to be able to like just not buy anything ever. But I think there's like a happy medium we could get to where we are trying to be mindful of our consumption, but at the same time, not being just totally ridiculous about it. So, like, I'm not very judgmental, and I understand that not everyone is in a position to, you know, go to great lengths to support like various sustainable causes, especially since a lot of the time the thing that's like organic or made responsibly, it's a lot more expensive and a lot of people can't afford that option. So they're going to have to shop at Amazon, Walmart. And I think telling people not to do that is just not very realistic. So I do really like that organizations like FABSCRAP are, again, they're doing this in a way where I think this makes sense. It's a win for everybody, and it also allows people like us to be able to purchase stuff from designers. I think that's really, I just thought that was really interesting. All right, we got Jenny in the house. Hello, Jenny. No, you're not late. You're right on time. Whenever you get here is whenever you get here, so don't worry about that. Lisa, yes, the link, it's in the description box. So if you check the description box for this live stream, the show notes, I kind of, they're not like anything, they're very like, yeah, they're not like in a form where I would feel good about sharing them, but all of that was in the piece. So it was very, but yeah, my notes were like just like chicken scratch. So that I'm probably not gonna put in, but you can definitely check out the YouTube video. And they just share, like, they give out that same information. Yeah, the chambray was, like, for $10 a yard. I thought that looked like a pretty good deal. And I didn't realize this Queen of Raw site also sold fabric and stuff. So that's pretty interesting. I just think that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm back on Queen of Raw here. So yeah, look at all this stuff they have. Okay, I don't know if I purchased croc back leather. That might not be my style, but they got a lot. I mean, and that's the thing. This is stuff that these businesses would have thrown away anyways. So it's being offered to people to buy, but this is stuff that, like, I want to know who's throwing away leather. Really? Throwing away leather? I don't know. So what do you guys think? Do you think this FABSCRAP model sounds interesting? I think it sounds really cool. So I'm going to be checking out the website and seeing if I can find some cool fabric, see how much the shipping is, and then I'll probably do a video for the sewing report. Also, I will be putting the FABSCRAP, I will be promoting moving forward the FABSCRAP affiliate info in all of my description boxes. So even in every live show, every video, I will be putting in all of my links because I want people to check out the organization. I want people to shop with FABSCRAP, and I think it seems like a pretty cool thing to promote. We promote a lot of other stuff here, but I think that looks pretty awesome. So check out FABSCRAP. It's a nonprofit, and they pick up dead stock from all of these high-end designers, and they allow you to purchase a lot of that material from them directly at a really good price. So again, info is in the description box. But yeah, I'm going to be checking it. Like, you better believe I'm going to be checking it out. Because it would be nice to be able to work with, like, and you know what? A lot of their inventory reminded me of the stuff you see at Mood Fabrics, but a lot less. So, yeah, it looks really nice. It looks very nice. All right, I can get some water real quick. All right, next up, we've got an update from JOANN's, but this is more of a product safety recall. And I happened to see this, so I wanted to let you know about this in case you've purchased this item from JOANN's. There has been a recall on this product. So let me show this. Okay, so they have recalled place and time battery operated desk lamps due to a fire hazard. So if you purchase this desk lamp, you probably want to get in touch with JOANN's. So here's what they look like, and they sold them in 3 colors: green, pink, and cream. And these were sold, I believe, over the summer. So, and the hazard is that the desk lamp's battery compartment can overheat while using the USB charging cord, posing a fire hazard. So this product was recalled a few days ago. There were about 9,700 of them circulated. So if this looks familiar to you and you currently own this, you will probably want to get in touch with JOANN's. So here is a phone number you can call, an email address, or you can go to the product recalls link and get some more information. And these lamps were sold, let's see here, between May and July of this year. So around this summer for about $23. The firm has received 3 reports of the battery compartment melting or popping while the lamp was charging with the USB cord. No injuries have been reported. Well, that's a good thing. They were made in China, and this is the recall number. So yes, this is from the, the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So yeah, if you bought this lamp, you may not want to keep this around because apparently it's a fire hazard and the battery compartment can overheat. So, I mean, they are kind of cute, to be fair. I think these lamps are kind of cool, and they're battery operated. I actually sort of like the battery operated part because you don't have that unsightly cord. So here is the contact information. So again, this looks familiar to you. You may want to get in contact with JOANN's and get a refund. And I don't know what they want you to do. Are you supposed to throw it out? I'm not really sure. But get in touch with JOANN's if you purchase those place and time lamps, because they're no good. So the place and time battery operated desk lamps are a fire hazard. And that's it kind of looks like something you'd have in like a kid's room or something. Obviously, you don't want that. So that is a safety alert from JOANN's. I mean, and to be fair, too, we're not trying to knock specifically. There are a lot of recalls on products in all sectors. I just happened to see this, and I was like, oh, maybe this would be helpful to somebody. So that is the safety update from JOANN's. All right, Debbie's here. I love your channel. Thank you. I saw that report. So good to wake people up about how much they waste on YouTube. Christine's Home Affairs saves upholstery fabric from the trash by making and sewing stuff. And there is so much upholstery fabric does tend to get, and even a lot of like home decor, like people will throw out old couches, pillows, that sort of thing. I think I saw a blogger years ago she bought a leather couch. Like, it was a really ugly, very dated leather couch. And she thrifted it, or like, I don't know where she got it, but she used the leather and upcycled it into other stuff. I don't know what she did with the frame, but she rescued the leather and she made like a chair. She made I think she made some pillows. So there's a lot of ways you can upcycle stuff like that. But yeah, there were, and again, I'm not trying to be like real, like, how can I say this? I'm not like the finger wagging type of person that's going to try to like police everything somebody does or preach at somebody. Because again, none of us are perfect. We all got areas that we could improve upon. So that's why I think I think some of these solutions need to be practical and realistic. And, like, yeah, you can tell someone, hey, never buy something made in China, but like, that would be so hard to do and execute in real life that we got to keep it real and we got to understand and give people, I think we need to give people some grace too, instead of like, yelling at people or, like that's just not helpful. So I can try to do what I can, but at the same time, it's like, we also need to be kind to one another and not like overly, you know what I mean? Like, not like the person that's going to yell at someone because they, used a plastic bag. You know what I'm saying? So there are things we can do, small things we can do, and just make somewhat of an effort, but, and just be mindful of our own consumer behavior. Like, for instance, I buy things, but I really try not to buy. I try not to go overboard with purchasing, especially for things like clothes. I don't shop for clothes very often. I have clothing that's 20, 30 years old that I still wear, embarrassingly enough. So there are things we can do, but at the same time, I think we need to be, we can be cool. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, thank you, Debbie, so much for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Yes, if you'd like to super chat, send a super sticker. That's always appreciated. And it does help power Sewing Report Live and the Sewing Report main channel. I removed all the leather off our old recliner to use as tote bags. That's cool. We broke up the frame and discarded it. Yeah. And you also have to be safe. Like, I think in most areas, I think like burning trash is illegal in most areas. So like, yeah, a lot of people like, and I've seen a lot of believe me, illegal dumping is a fairly big problem in my area. And illegal, like people are burning. Now, I remember when I was living in Atlanta. All right, I don't know if anyone remembers this. In Atlanta, there was a huge tire fire. So somebody was like burning tires under in an underpass under the freeway. And I was working at CNN at the time. And I remember we brought up the fire on like a live, we had like a live picture of it from, one of the local Atlanta stations. And that was when the fire got so big that part of the highway collapsed. Do you remember that? It was several years ago. But it was from someone burning tires, which you're not supposed to do. And the fire was, I remember the fire burning for a while and thinking that's kind of crazy. And it was right under like the overpass, a highway overpass. And literally we watched in real time live as part of the highway just literally collapsed. It was crazy. It was amazing that no one was hurt. Like, it was super crazy that there happened to not be any cars going over at that particular moment, because traffic in Atlanta is terrible. But somebody was burning tires because there was like a huge stack of tires under that section, and somehow it caught. I think they arrested somebody like a couple days later. I got some questions about that. I'm not really sure if I buy the official narrative, but like, yes, the way that people dispose of stuff is sometimes kind of questionable. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean here. All right. Debbie says, I still wear clothes from high school. It fits, so why disregard? Discard. Exactly. You know what? And some things, I will say, some things from high school fit, some things don't. I'm trying to eventually I'll try to get in better shape so I can fit into more of my clothes. So I don't have to keep buying bigger clothes. But yeah, I still have some stuff from like high school that is in good it's in good condition. The clothing is worn pretty well. So I'll wear stuff for a lot. My car is I drive a 2008 Toyota, so I try to be, again, I'm not like super militant about it, but when I can, I really do try to, not be like into the hyper consumerism, and that's also not something I want to promote here. I really try, again, I sell things, I feature products, that's, part of running a sewing channel, but I do try to be mindful about not going overboard with promoting a crazy level of wasteful consumerism, if that makes sense. Again, it's like, it's not like I'm, I'm kind of in the middle, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of not on one extreme or the other. I'm sort of in the middle. But, I think if you can do something and and it's sustainable, it doesn't cost any more than what you're doing, it doesn't really, take any effort, why not do it? Why not do it? Surprised the fashion industry didn't already do these things. If a brand is concerned about cheapening the brand, they could have just held the fabric a bit till trends changed, then sell it on. So what I've heard, Jenny, is I've heard that brands will destroy merchandise. So certain brands will not put their items on sale, and they don't want them to be discounted or to be like sold, like to like the TJ Maxx's of the world. So I have heard that certain brands will, instead of like, because they made too much of an item and they want to sell it at like X amount of dollars, I have heard that some of these brands will destroy the item. Like, again, an item that costs thousands of dollars, they'll destroy it rather than put it to good use or sell it to somebody at less than full price. So that's what I've heard. That's the rumors. That is the rumors. No excuse for the waste. It is really disheartening, and and it is hard too, because I feel like some of these people will kind of turn a blind eye to those sort of practices and pretend it's not happening, but it is happening. I think it's important to think about how long will a certain purchase last exactly, and put a plan in place about how you will dispose of it at the end of its life. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, Lisa says, right, Jen, it has to be practical for the everyday person to participate in recycling. Yeah, that's very true. So, like, if you make the sustainable option expensive and difficult for the average person, they're probably not, let's be real, they're probably not going to do it. Like, if you can buy an organic, sustainably made, responsibly made t-shirt and it costs $75, like, that's a bit out of touch, because a lot of people cannot afford to pay $75 for a t-shirt. They're going to go to Walmart and pay $5 for the t-shirt because that's what they can afford. So I do think we have to be understanding to the people that might not be in a situation to make the sustainable, responsible choice if that choice is not really in their budget. They can't afford it. I think that's something we can do. All right. Debbie says, in New York, that was common for the homeless back in the 70s. Oh, burning tires. Also, garbage cans were common. Yeah. This tire fire, man, it was wild. It was just totally wild, because here we were in the newsroom watching this fire, and it was like really high. Let me see if I can find a photo, because this was like one of the craziest days ever. And what was insane too was that for that section of the highway to be closed, Atlanta traffic is crazy, and it really put a hardship on people who commute, because for a section of that highway to be shut down, it was really very, very inconvenient for a lot of people. Let me see if I can find this story. Atlanta tire fire. Like, it was just crazy. I think it was on 85. Was it on I-85? Yeah, because the bridge collapsed. It was just nuts. Let me see if I can find this photo. It was just so crazy. Okay, it was in 2017. Yes, it was a while ago. Yeah, it was just, yeah, it was nuts, guys. It was nuts. Let me see. Okay, here's from transportation. I'm trying to see if I can, okay, here's an, I can't, all right, I'm trying to find some photos or something. Okay, here it is. This is from my old workplace, CNN. Because this was a few months before I left. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Okay, so here is the, this is the fire. I mean, let me see if I can play this real quick. A 5-lane section of Interstate 85 collapsed during the evening rush hour in the heart of Atlanta after a massive fire broke out underneath the roadway, and yet miraculously no lives were lost. That was the craziest thing, is that nobody was killed. Because, like, it was, okay, so here's the fire underneath. This is the moment the bridge collapsed. That's from WSB. Yeah, because we were just watching it, and nobody expected the bridge to collapse. We just thought, okay, that's not going to play. We just thought eventually, yeah, this is what the fire looked like. This was just nuts. But eventually, we just thought the fire would go out, and we just did not expect the whole thing to collapse. It was just, and watching it in real time was crazy, because all of a sudden, the road just falls out from under, it just falls. It was just super crazy. That was a really weird day at work. I can say that. And I will say, luckily, it did not affect my commute. That would have really sucked. Yeah, this whole thing, flames reach as high as 40 feet as the height of the fire in Northeast. It was just bonkers. I mean, that was just, yeah, yeah. All right, we got Buck Plugged from Twitch. Thank you for joining. It's becoming illegal in the EU for fashion brands to destroy stock. I would be okay with that being the case everywhere. I just don't understand. I don't understand why any company should just destroy merchandise for no reason. And especially not because it does, like, sell it to somebody else, give it away, donate it, do something else. But if you can't figure that out, I think that's horrible. Yeah, it really is a terrible practice. I think that needs to, that's gotta end. Like, that's gotta end. I remember a documentary where each person was charged for disposition of their garbage. Packaging was minimal. Very interesting. Yeah, and like, yeah, it's the thing, illegal dumping and that sort of, people who do that sort of thing. I mean, what a crap, like, what kind of person are you if you do that sort of thing? One of my favorite local stores sells Deadstock. That's awesome. It's generally my first place to look for fabric for projects. All right, Lisa says, my sister had to pay $50 when she took an old refrigerator to the dump. She was shocked. Yeah, no wonder people dump stuff along country roads. I'm not condoning that behavior, but shouldn't it be cheaper? So I believe in my county, you have a limit to what you can drop off at the dump. I'm not exactly sure what the limit is, but you bring your tax bill to the dump to prove that you live in the county or whatnot, and then you can drop off a certain amount of stuff. I think there is a fee. There definitely is a fee to dispose of stuff. I don't think it's as much as $50, but yeah, you see illegal dumping all over the place. After we had a hurricane, like after the hurricane was a couple of years ago, was it last year, the year before? There was somebody left a trampoline on the side of the road outside my subdivision for weeks. I've seen mattresses. I've seen all kinds of random crap. I can definitely see why people just dump stuff wherever. And that's the thing. The type of people who do this, again, sometimes they may be kind of desperate, but they also, these are people, they don't feel any personal responsibility or like ownership in the community. Like they just don't care, you know, and that's sort of the issue is if you get enough people that don't care, you know, your whole community turns to shit because if everyone does that, it's a big problem. It's like if only one or two people do that every once in a while, it's not that noticeable. But when everyone does it, then it becomes a much bigger issue. Fridge is heavy, contains metals, and gas for refrigeration. Yeah, that's expensive to discard, but state regulations for the parts being disposed makes things more expensive. Yeah, and that's why a lot of companies like Home Depot, if you order like a new fridge, they'll help you dispose of your old one, or you buy a new washer and dryer and they'll dispose of your old one. And that is kind of a nice thing for them to do, to offer that with the installation of your new one. The pickup and haul away of your old appliance is a very nice inclusion into that purchase. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. Now, we've been talking about Summerween and just the explosion of all of the Halloween merchandise at all of these retail stores. And buckle up, because Michaels has just announced their plans for the holiday season, which they are going to be kicking off earlier than ever. So let's check this out. Michaels put out a press release about their 2024 holiday decor collections and store hours to kick off 100 days to Christmas. So they're going to be, they're getting in on this. They are not missing the opportunity to sell us holiday merchandise. I will say though, some of the collections are kind of cute. So let's see what they've got in store. Embrace the holidays with an exciting variety of new decor, trees, gift wrap, ribbon, and more hitting shelves earlier than ever. That's just what we need to inspire your festive celebrations. Michaels, the best place for all things creative, today unveiled a preview of its exclusive holiday decor collections in celebration of the 100-day countdown to Christmas. The 4 highly anticipated trend-setting collections will begin rolling out earlier than ever before, starting September 27th. All right, so September, that's like 3 months before Christmas. So they're going to put out the Christmas stuff 3 months before the holiday. With extended holiday hours, a broad assortment of creative supplies and gifts, and completely revamped holiday essentials like gift wrap, ribbons, and trees, Michaels is the one-stop holiday shop to make the season bright. With 41% of consumers planning to start holiday shopping in October or earlier, and 1 in 5 shopping specifically for holiday decor in September or earlier, Michaels is ready to meet this early demand, offering fresh new decor and festive supplies as soon as customers need them. Customers can now preview all 4 exclusive decor collections, which will be shoppable in stores and online as they roll out in September and October. From cheerful throw pillows and cozy blankets to candles, wreaths, ornaments, and outdoor decor, Michaels is everything needed to create a joyful holiday ambience with options to suit every style, space, and budget. Question though, are they going to have an 8-foot animatronic skeleton dressed as Santa Claus? We got to ask the real questions here. Our new holiday decor collections are a reflection of how Michaels uniquely adapts emerging trends to deliver exclusive designs. Each collection is thoughtfully developed to embody the spirit of the season while staying true to the diverse styles our customers love, said Mandy Clark, Director of Trend and Design at Michaels. This trend-forward approach doesn't stop at decor. We carry these trending colors, prints, and materials throughout the entire store, from party supplies and baking essentials to gift wrap and faux florals, giving our creative customers endless supplies to buy or DIY their favorite holiday styles. The first collection, dropping September 27th, is Sprinkle Shop. This sugar-coated decor will transform your space into a whimsical candy-core wonderland featuring cotton candy Christmas trees, frosted gingerbread gumdrops galore, and the star of the show, Sprinkle Santa. Whoa, what's that entail? Set in a vibrant palette of pinks, soft greens, and bright reds, paired with flocked and iridescent accents, this fun-filled collection will infuse your space with holiday magic all season. All right, the other collections will launch on October 18th, and they are Holiday Pines, Gala, and Night Before Christmas. Prices start at just $2.99. Customers can also get creative with an expanded fabric assortment and explore the newly revamped tree forest, featuring an extensive array of artificial Christmas trees with new sizes, finishes, lighting options, and even musical features to suit any space. Additionally, Michaels has expanded its gift wrap and ribbon collection with a fresh assortment of new designs and textures to elevate holiday decor and gift giving. Fun times. All right, and here are the holiday hours. So they do have some extended hours on certain days. Black Friday, they're going to be open at 7 a.m. They closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. They're going to be open on Christmas Eve. Wow. All right. They're going to be open on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Wow. So let's check out some of the collections here, because I'm going to be real. I thought some of them were kind of cute. All right, so here are the Christmas decor collections. And again, these are linked below in the description box if you want to look for yourself. I'm going to be real. I like the Sprinkle Shop. I think the Sprinkle Shop is my favorite. So here's the Sprinkle Shop. And yeah, it's very like, I feel like it's very like nostalgic 50s, fun colors, candy colors. Candy core, I would definitely say that's accurate. They've got Gala. That seems more like kind of Nutcracker, but it's like kind of an elegant, it's like pink and gold. You know, very, you know, Gilded Age. Night Before Christmas. This is very like classic Christmas. And then we've got Holiday Pines. This is very, you know, naturey, lots of greens, that sort of thing. So let me know, which collection do you think appeals to you? I mean, I think this stuff is kind of cute. I'm not going to lie. I don't normally buy holiday decor, but I do think some of this is just kind of, I like the spring, you know, I'm going to be real. I like the Sprinkle Shop. Playful pom-poms, shimmering sprinkles, and pastel palette. Like, this is totally me. So here's the Sprinkle Shop, and this is going to be the earliest one. Like, I would buy, okay, that cotton candy tree is sort of adorable. I would buy some of this stuff. I'm going to be real. I think some of this stuff is sort of cute. Oh, the Christmas tree advent calendar. This is cool because it looks like a Christmas tree. I don't know how the quality of this stuff is, but I like the theme. Better Not Pout. Got wood wall decor. You got, I mean, I like these clay gingerbread house tabletop things. I think those are cool. Some of these would make like good photo props. I like some of these trees. I like the colors. I like the candy Christmas thing. So I think this is my favorite out of the 4 collections. You can get mini Christmas. I like how these snow globes look like cupcakes, and then they got macaron ornaments. I don't know. I just think this is sort of adorable. Again, do I need any of this stuff? No. But, you know, I'm going to be real. I think it's, like, this is sort of cute. Is this like some tabletop? I mean, some of this is sort of cute. So, check out page 2 here. I like the colors. I think I like the colors and the theme of the Sprinkle Shop the best. Yeah, look at this wreath. This is sort of cute. It's got fun colors. I like how it's like a slightly different take than the normal red and green. I like the pink and the mint green. I think that's what I like about this particular collection. And I like candy. Who doesn't love candy? So here is the Sprinkle Shop collection. That is going to be the earliest one. I feel like I want to go to Michael's and check some of this stuff out in person just to see, you know, just to see what they got. But that is the Michael's Holidays plans. I mean, if they're going to capitalize on it. If they think they can sell Christmas stuff earlier and earlier, I think they're going to do it. Let's enjoy Halloween and Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, how early are you guys going to sell, like, this stuff? I don't know. You know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. All right. To each their own. But there's way too much holiday consuming going on and way too early. That's fair, Lisa. That's very fair. And I feel like I'm getting sort of FOMO because I'm like, oh, that's cute. But do I really need it? Not. I might buy like one. I feel like I might buy like one thing just to like, you know, maybe like to feature in videos or something. I don't know. So I might do something like that. Who knows? But I agree. I think they're starting way too early. And there's like too much stuff. Like they have 4 different holiday, like not just one, but they've got 4 different themes. I mean, that is like, let's be real. That's a lot, you know, that's a lot. Yeah, you're right. They are kind of expensive. And did you notice they already start out at 30% off? So it seems to me like if you wait a little bit, use like a coupon with it or wait until they're like 60% off. And then maybe it'll be like a price that's not as, you know, not as crazy. But that's kind of their tactic, is that it'll start out at $90 and then you end up paying $20 for it. So that seems to be what... that seems to be the game plan for all of these stores. That plus, where do you store it when you're done? Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have a lot of storage space here. My Christmas tree is on top of my kitchen cabinets right now. I'm not joking. I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of halfway in the box. There's probably some bugs in it or something crazy like that. I don't know. So, who knows? But a lot of people don't have... Like, I always wonder, the people that have all the holiday seasonal stuff for every holiday, like... Where do you put it all? Like, I don't have an attic or a basement here, so there's really not a lot of places to store it. Yeah. I think this is what you call sweating the small stuff. Buy when and if you are ready. That's true. And, you know, you got to give yourself a break. Like, you know, sometimes, I feel like sometimes we place all these restrictions on ourselves, and then, you know, but sometimes you got to live, too. You know, you got to live... You know, it's okay to buy, you know, it's okay to buy things. It really is. I think people can go overboard sometimes, but you're right. It's okay to buy stuff. You know, you don't have to beat yourself up if you shop at Amazon or whatever. Oh my, this is funny. They store it all in all of the storage units. They're popping, that's true. And then they're paying like, you know, $50 a month to store random stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have that sort of, yeah. I've only had a storage unit, like, I think once, and that's because we moved. So, we had a storage unit for, like, a couple months until we got back into, like a house. That's what we ended up doing. Well, if you live in my neighborhood, apparently you store it all in your garage so that you have to park your cars in the guest parking spots on the street. Denise, that happens in my neighborhood, too. Yeah, oh yeah, that happens in my neighborhood. Although we park our cars in the driveway, so we don't have, at least we're still on our own property. Yeah, I think everyone has that issue, like where everyone's using their garage for storage, so you don't end up parking your cars in there. Although coincidentally, my husband spent the last 2 days cleaning out the garage. I don't know why, but it looks very nice. And he is using a lot of it for storage. So that's kind of us too. We park our car in the driveway right now. We have another car in the garage, but it's a non-functional. And we still have it. So that's our deal. But we're those people too. We are those people too. And believe it or not, guys, we have even more news to cover. This is not it. This is not it, because next up, I haven't really talked about this company in a while, but I do own some stuff from them, and that is Silhouette. And Silhouette actually has a few new products that they're going to be releasing soon. So, you know, again, I don't know if you're a paper crafter or you have a Silhouette Cameo or some other type of Silhouette cutting machine, but I actually have the Silhouette Studio. I haven't really used it. But I was thinking maybe instead of, you know, y'all know how I feel about Cricut. I was thinking maybe next time I have to purchase something like that, I was thinking of getting a Silhouette Cameo. So I found their new launches to be kind of interesting. So Silhouette is going to be launching, the first product is called the Silhouette Crochet. I believe that's how you pronounce it. The world's cutest heat press. All right, so it is... designed with hobbyists in mind, this compact yet powerful heat press offers unmatched versatility and ease of use. interesting. Making it the perfect tool for a wide range of products. It's going to be priced around $250. It's a portable heat press. So it looks like you can fold it up. Comes in 3 colors, chiffon pink, ice green, and milky white. And you can, yeah, that's interesting. I did see another photo of it. Let me see if I can find another, because that picture doesn't really tell you a lot. Let's see here. Silhouette. Crochet. I found some better pictures of it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So here's the website Heat Press Nation. So here's a better picture of the heat press. I'm not exactly sure what makes this different than like all the other heat press. Okay, here's the other thing. Actually, these pictures aren't very good either. I thought there was going to be a picture of it like opened up or something. Let me see if I can find something better here. Is there a better photo? I don't know. All right. All right, we'll go back. We'll go back to this. But yeah, I am curious about some of the Silhouette products. I think some of them look kind of cool. So the Silhouette Crochet. There's also something called the Crochet Petite. So this is sort of a detail heat press that you can do small pieces of like heat transfer vinyl or other stuff to items that are difficult to work with using traditional flat presses such as hats, shoes, and more. So you can do small projects, edges. So this is sort of a detail. I think this is cool. Is this like battery operated? I don't know. So it's packed with safety features. Yeah, is this... I'm confused. Is this like battery operated or is this... yeah, I don't know. Or is this like a plug-in thing? Doesn't really have the price on that one. I imagine that would be less than $250. So that is their other heat press. I've seen people using it on Instagram already to do like small things. You can. They're also kind of touting it as a way to use up your pieces of scrap heat transfer vinyl. So instead of throwing out the pieces, you can use them for like small projects or small little details. So that looks kind of cool. I do think the some of these products. I think the Crochet Petite looks kind of neat. All right, so their other new product is the Silhouette Cameo Pro MK2 Advanced Capabilities for the Modern Maker. This is going to be about $500. It's kind of pricey. All right, new features include a second powered carriage, a quieter operating model, and an emergency stop function. Okay. The Silhouette Cameo Pro is equipped with enhanced loadability and added auxiliary rollers for increased stability during operation. New power tool capabilities, including the heat pen. I'm curious to see this. Easy to use cutting functions offer precise control, and the repeat function allows for simple execution of multiple jobs. It's going to have a width of 24 inches. That's pretty wide. And it looks like you can buy a stand for it. So that's actually pretty cool. So if you want to do like bigger materials. Okay, the stand is $400. That's a lot of money. The stand is compatible with Cameo 4 or later. So you can have like a basket holding the material before and after it feeds through the machine, preventing the material from getting dirty and sticking to the floor. That's expensive for a stand. Jeez. They also have a leather carving knife, tool for the Courier 2. Does that work with the new Silhouette? I don't know. A power engraver for, and they're kind of, I know Cricut already has some of this stuff. Here's the heat pen. What do you use that for? Oh, to add fine heat press designs to their projects. I'm curious to see some of this stuff in actions. Okay, so you can do like heat transfer foil, masking tape. Okay, so that's another tool. And then they've got a new pen holder. Silhouette Studio 5 simplified design with new starter mode. Actually, I should probably update my software because I purchased the software. I just never got around to like really trying it out. So it looks like they've got a new update available by Christmas. Not really sure what the updates are. Okay, common pain points such as page setup and send panel pages, new starter mode. So they've got some stuff going on. I think some of their stuff looks kind of cool. All right, let's see what else they got. Okay, wow, they're already on the Cameo 5. Because I was thinking about getting the Cameo 4, and I never ended up doing it. But yeah, I do really appreciate that the Silhouette people are constantly coming out with new upgrades and different products. I think that their like electrostatic mat looks kind of interesting too. I'm actually curious. I've never owned a Silhouette, but I am like, if I purchased, I still have my Cricut maker. But if I purchased another one, I would probably get a Silhouette.
All right.
Yeah, wow, look at that, like, retractable lid. How do I turn down the volume on this? I don't know. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, this video is kind of selling me on this. I think it looks cool. Alright, we'll stop that, but, yeah, I'm curious about some of this stuff. I probably wouldn't get, like, the Pro MK2, because that's, like, too much for me. But I might do like a Silhouette Cameo 5 or something. I don't know. So I'm thinking, because I'd like to get out of the Cricut ecosystem. I really do not like what Cricut has done to their customers. I know I've talked about this a lot here on the other channel. And on this channel a little bit too. I'm not really a fan of the Cricut brand. I really don't want to promote Cricut. And that's the thing. I have a bunch of Cricut products and I really don't link them or really mention the brand because I don't really want to give them free promotion. I don't feel good about that, so I don't. But I would be curious in trying out I would be curious to try out one of the Silhouette machines. All right, Debbie has the Brother Scan and Cut. Absolutely love it. Cool. Now, what do you use, Brothers, like, what software do you use to do it? Do you use their software? I have the HTV Runt heat press. Okay, Debbie, I'm not a fan of HTV Runt. It's a long story. But yeah, they are pretty, I've seen HTV Runt. They're very affordable. I looked into the company that owns it. I did a couple live streams about the parent company of HTV Runt. I personally had a pretty weird experience with them. So I decided I'm not going to have anything to do with HTV Runt because they're the same people behind that Lockley Crafter. And I had a very strange experience with those people. So I am definitely not going to be promoting HTV Runt. Again, if you have it, cool. I have absolutely, my own experiences with that company have been pretty shady. So I'm not comfortable promoting anything related to HTV Runt or the Lockley Crafter. I got a lot of people with the Brothers Scan and Cut. Okay. I don't know. I liked Silhouette's business model, and I like that their software you just buy standalone, and they don't have anything subscription based. So that's personally why I was more interested in the Silhouette. Plus, I like some of their products, and I think it looks pretty cool. I also have the Cricut Air too. Very cool. Yeah, exactly. Would make cutting out letters for appliques a lot easier. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, Brother Canvas is free on the computer, although the Scan and Cut, great for fussy cutting. Yeah, Debbie, this was like a while. It was like probably like, if you're kind of new here, it's probably like a year and a half. It was probably like maybe 2 years ago. But yeah, I had a very strange experience with the people behind that brand and the Lockley Crafter. It's the same. There's like a big company called like Siki Eagle Sarl. It was a very strange thing. And they kind of TLDR, they appear to be based out of France, but it's really a Chinese company. And they just own a bunch of random e-commerce sites selling stuff to people like us. Anything from military gear to like wigs, to like outdoor stuff. And what they do on all of these sites is they try to make it look like they're like a Western brand, and they're not. They also they sent me some weird emails, and they asked me to change the title of a live stream because they were promoting the Lockley Crafter on Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter got suspended. They also had a very weird presentation on Facebook. Was it like Facebook? Using like, the whole thing was strange. So if you want to look, this is on the main Sewing Report channel. I did a couple live streams about my experience with the Lockley Crafter people, and they're the same people behind. So it's the same company. Again, if you have an HTV Runt heat press, I think that's, again, I don't have any issues with the customers, the people that bought from them. I did personally have a very strange experience with whoever's in charge over there, the people running those companies, and I was not comfortable with them, and I don't want to give them any sort of promotion. So those are not brands that I'm going to be doing. Yeah, exactly, Denise. I still have nasty flashbacks to that super weird video presentation with virtual people. Totally. Yeah, it's like, I feel, so my gist is that a lot of these people are probably non-native English speakers and probably like from China. And I felt like the company wanted to hide that fact. So they did this like announcement launch on Facebook, and they used weird avatars of people and gave them names. But I don't think those were even their real names, like Brian or Robert or something. Or like, Lacey. But I don't think those were actually their names. And to me, it kind of seemed like they were trying to hide the people who work at this company or were working on this project. I just thought it was really weird. And then when I had some email interactions with those people, it got worse. All right, this is good to know. The scan and cut can operate without the computer for basic stuff. Cool. Very cool. Wow, the Runt store is similar to the clothes vendors on Facebook. Yeah, that's the thing. The company that owns HTV Runt, they also had like a bunch of like random clothing websites, like fast fashion. It was just very sus. It was very sus. And then they sent me an email telling me I needed to... So I reported on the Kickstarter suspension. I was like, I don't know why, but their Kickstarter has been suspended. They did not like that, and they asked... They actually didn't ask. They told me I had to change the title to remove the word suspended because they said it was making people nervous. And I was like, well, you guys your Kickstarter really was suspended. And yeah, the whole thing was weird. They all lead back to the same company with horrible reviews. So that's why I know a lot of people have purchased the HTV Runt heat presses. And again, most people just don't know. And I ended up trying to look into them after because I was kind of like, well, I was going to do a video about the Lockley Crafter. But not, yeah, I just had a real weird experience. So I was like, yeah, no. So the whole thing was really strange. So I didn't end up doing the video, and I was like, this is, and their crafting machine was a knockoff. It was definitely a dupe of the Cricut Maker. And I was like, oh, okay, but they were trying to like make out this brand like it was some sort of like, folksy craft brand, but instead it was like just some random brand that this parent company started to make money off of, people in the West. So that's kind of what I got out of that. Again, if you own HTV Runt stuff, I have no issues with any of that. I have an issue with the people who run those companies. I was like, this is bizarre. This is really bizarre. But yeah, I'm curious about Silhouette. I am. I think that I actually, and not to sound too superficial, but I like the product. I like their aesthetic. Like, there's something about the Silhouette that I think the machines look, I don't know. I just think I just like the whole vibe, So I'm sort of curious someday to try out like the Silhouette Cameo. And yeah, they did make some improvements with the 5. The 5 looks like pretty sleek, Looks very sleek. Denise, that's a good question. I don't think their launch went very well. Like, I don't know if it went very well. I saw some other YouTubers like do videos about the Lockley Crafter, but I haven't heard much about it since since then, I don't even know if like the regular like customers got their Lockley Crafter, because the only people I've seen with actual units were influencers that probably got the machine sent to them. I don't think I've really, let me look. I don't think I've seen a lot of customers actually posting, let's see here, their stuff. Yeah, I'm really not seeing a lot of regular people with the Lockley Crafter. The only people, it's mostly YouTubers, and I know for a fact that they were sending out machines to a bunch of YouTubers. So I don't even know if those were real customers or if they actually ended up getting what they paid for. But they, after they got kicked off of Kickstarter, they went to Indiegogo instead. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, I really don't know what happened, but I was just getting some real weird vibes from them, and I really didn't want to do anything with that company, so I just wrote it off. I read an article a while back that Chinese businessmen have bought many fashion companies in Europe so they can charge more and use those brand names. I wouldn't be surprised. I've noticed some brands out of China are trying to kind of make people think it's like a European brand, or they'll give it like a European sounding name when it's not like a European brand. So I've definitely seen that happen quite a bit. And again, I'm obviously Asian. I like a lot of Korean brands. I do. And I think a lot, but they don't pretend to be like something they're not, you know? Like there's some Korean fashion brands, Korean beauty brands, and you know, there's one brand I follow called Laneige, and they do give themselves sort of like a Frenchy sounding name, but again, I don't think they're trying to mislead people into thinking they're really like French or something. I don't know, but my experience with it was pretty strange, so that's why I don't have any HTV Runt stuff or am promoting the Lockley Crafter. I'm definitely not doing that. Let's check out some of the comments here. Okay. So yeah, it seems like a lot of you want the scan and cut. I'll look more into it. I'm probably, again, I'm sort of drawn more to the silhouette for some reason. I have heard a lot of people say they like their brother's scan and cut. Let me look it up real quick. Oh boy, that's like $400. That's kind of for the latest one. That's kind of a lot. Wow. Wow, they even have one that's like $750? How is it $750? Yeah, I wouldn't pay that much for a cutting machine, that's for sure. Alright, so the latest one is the Brother Scan and Cut SD. Okay, the brother name's SDX125E. They always get me with the names with like a bunch of letters and numbers. Like nobody's gonna remember that. Nobody's gonna remember that. Alright, hey, they sell it at Michael's. Let's check that out. This one comes in a kit. Wait, this is the $700. How is this $700? All right, we got to look at this. Okay, so this is the Brother SDX 325 scan and cut for $749.99. It does, I mean, at least it comes with a duffel bag, I guess. That is a lot of money for that. Like, what all does it do? I don't really care that it's got wireless internet. The thin fabric auto blade. Yeah, I definitely would not pay. I would not buy that. I'm just gonna be real. That just seems like way too much money for an electronic cutting machine. I don't know. What's the max you guys would pay for something like that? So here's the Brother website. All right, so this is their latest. This is their latest models. All right, so the 125, the SDX 125E. Okay, that one's $3.99. You can also get a bundle. You can get a sewing machine, a scan and cut, and a label maker for $3.94. Wow. There's a scan and cut DX. The Brother Disney scan and cut. They have a few different ones. Okay, here's the, I think this is, one of these is like the $700. No, that's not it. All right, they've got a refurbished one. I don't see the $700. Is this the $700 on there? I don't know. All right, so those, the kind of mid-range one is like $400. It's around $400. Yeah, that's still kind of a lot though. I think the Brothers Cameo or the Silhouette Cameo 5, I think it was like $350. So, and I already have the Silhouette. I already purchased the Silhouette Studio, so okay. All right. Hello, Sonia. Thank you for joining in. All right. The higher the number, the newer it is, it automatically determines the pressure to cut. Well, I guess that's good. The scanning ability, I think, is what the price reflects. Okay. So with the scan and cut, is it for like making stickers or stuff? Like, I don't need to scan stuff a lot, so I'm not really sure like what the benefit is, but is it just so you can scan like pictures or something? I don't know. Like, what do you mainly use? Like, what would be your purpose for buying the scan and cut over just a regular cutting machine? I just personally don't have much of a use for the scanning myself. Because a lot of my stuff is digital anyways. So, I don't really... Like, I could just do, like, print and cut if I needed something. Because I would probably have it on my computer. And then I could just do that. So, I don't know. So, I think that's why I probably don't need a Brother scan and cut. Because I don't think I would use the scanning that much. I embossed metal bracelets on it, fussy cut fabric and vinyl. I have scanned patterns in and used it to cut fabric for quilting and applique. All right, I didn't pay that price. The mats are expensive. Yeah, the mats do look kind of pricey on that. So yeah, I'd have to look around. Again, I have a Cricut Maker, like the original one. So I don't really need... Do I have the original? Yeah, I think I've got the original one. Because they went right from the Cricut Maker to the Cricut Maker 3. I don't think there was a Cricut Maker 2. So I think I have the original Cricut Maker. I think I paid like $300 for it. It was some $300 or $350. I can't remember how much I paid. But I don't think it was more than $300. It was somewhere around there. All right, Carmen says, the scan and cut, like the Silhouette, was better at cutting fabric for applique. Good to know. Good to know. All right, guys. Well, it is time again this week. It's time again for... All right, so this is something I usually do sort of at the end of the show. I try to get through like the actual content first, the actual topics, because I know not everyone that watches this show watches Korean TV shows. So if you're not into that, I totally understand. If you are curious though, you're gonna want to stay with this because I've got some fun recommendations. I am a Korean drama aficionado, and I've seen At this point, I've probably watched over like 60 of them. I've watched a lot of these shows. So if you have any questions about the K-drama scene, I might be able to help. I am Korean, so, but I don't speak Korean. I have to watch the subtitles because I have no idea. I have no idea what these people are saying. They're really fun to watch though. So I wanted to keep y'all posted on the latest one I'm watching. All right, that's my husband. Hello. All right, so we're gonna check out the latest one. And last week, so I think last week I finished, what was the one I was watching last week? I'm trying to remember. Oh, Good Job. So I watched Good Job. And that one was a little bit disappointing. But I'm in the middle of a new one. And this one is good so far. So Korean dramas, they're all different genres. So I think they get kind of an unfair rap that they're all going to be like, you know, all just like chick flick type stuff. It's not. They're all different ones. There are romantic comedies, there's drama, there's thrillers, there's like flat, you know, trying to think what else. There's like action, mystery. So there's a lot of different there's, you know, just like we have our TV shows, there's something for everybody. What I like about the K-dramas is that the viewing commitment is relatively short. So if you're tired of trying to start a TV show that's like 18 seasons and you're like, I just can't give up that much of my life, this would be for you because these shows are typically only between 12 and 16 one-hour episodes. So one season. So they don't really do more than one season, which I actually really like because you're not going to spend years of your life watching this freaking show. You're going to spend like a week doing it. So that's one thing I like about them. So the show I'm currently watching is called My Sweet Mobster. And at first glance, you're like, this sounds really lame. And the thumbnail for this show, like, it looks a little cringe at first. And I found the name, I feel like I judged the book by its cover. I thought this was going to be really bad. And it's not. I was totally wrong about it. So this is on the streaming site Viki, and this is linked in the description box. Because I saw the title and I was like, My Sweet Mobster, that sounds really stupid. And then I saw, it looks like they're trying to give it like a Barbie. I was like, okay, so there's the female, and then there's her love interest, and he looks like he's like a Ken doll, and everything's pink. And I was like, this looks like it's like Barbie girl. So Barbie girl in a mobster world. And I was like, this is going to be like a terrible show. So I resisted watching this because I thought the thumbnail and the title just didn't appeal to me at first glance. And I was like, yeah, how ridiculous is this going to be? So what is it about? And so this show recently ended, 16 episodes. So it says romantic comedy. I would label it romantic comedy, and it's not real heavy on the romance, which I actually think works for this show. Like, it's got some romance, but it's not like sugary. It's not like too saccharine cringe. All right, so this is what the show is about. Once a convict, Seo Ji-won is now a successful, albeit overly cautious CEO who has yet to experience any of life's more enjoyable pleasures, namely falling in love. But all that changes when fate brings beloved children's content creator Go Yuna into his life. The unlikely pair find love most unexpectedly, but Yuna's longtime fan, prosecutor Zhang Yunwoo, isn't ready to let her go without a fight. So I was like, all right, so this is adapted from a web novel called The Woman Who Plays. And so here's the cast. So Tae-gu is the male lead, and then Han Sunhwa is the lead female, and I got some things to say about her. And then Kwon Yul is the second male lead, and I've seen him. He was in another drama as the second male lead in another one called Happy Once Again or something, where he played a doctor. So now he's playing a prosecutor. So this guy here, Tae-gu, as JOANN, he is a former gangster turned, now he's the CEO of a meat processing company. Yes, a meat processing company called the Thirsty Deer. And Han Sunhwa, or Go Unya, sorry, I'm not going to get these pronunciations right, but she plays a woman who runs it's definitely a YouTube channel, but they call it WeTube. They call it WeTube on this show because they don't want to use the YouTube brand name. And it kind of seems like she works for like a large entertainment company that it's like a talent agency or an entertainment agency. And then they it's almost like an incubator where they have different influencers, content creators, kind of contracted, and then they kind of help them make content and whatnot. Like they've got like production studios, and then they pay for her housing and pay her to like run the YouTube channel. But the downside is that she's not an independent content creator. So this entertainment company own her WeTube channel. But that's what I found a little strange about this, is that like there's all these adult content creators in this show that are making like kids videos, and I thought that was a little odd. There's no actual children in the videos. It's mostly like these adults unboxing toys and doing like childish things like just with other adults. And I was like, if I had a kid, I don't know if I would want them to watch like just some random adults opening, playing with toys. Like I do find that a little strange. So I found that so she's a children's content creator, and they end up meeting at a nightclub, kind of rando. But there's a lot about this show. So it's over the top ridiculous, but you don't really mind. Like this show doesn't take itself too seriously. And I really thought that's one of the best things about it, is it's like, you really have to suspend reality in order to like believe the plot and the storyline and the writing. And that's okay. Sometimes like not everything has to be, realistic. Like it's very outlandish. And the male lead, oh, by the way, so if you're kind of unfamiliar with Viki, they have something called real-time comments. So as you're watching the show, you can leave comments and it will show up for all of the other viewers, which is kind of a nice feature because you can see what everyone else is sort of thinking while they're watching the show. And it almost feels like you're watching it with other people. And I actually think that's one of the best features about Viki, is the real-time comments. All right, so I'm going to click on one of the episodes. I'm not really going to play it, but I want to kind of show you guys. I want to show you guys some stuff. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see here. And I gotta say, so far, I really like this show. I think the show, so far, I would probably give this show maybe a 9. I think it's really fun. I love the cast. I think the cast is fantastic. It also, weirdly, it has like a Snow White vibe. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't want to spoil too much, but the other so there's a couple things I want to share. So all right, so let me see if I can find some of the Viki real-time comments. All right, I'm trying to find. But the comments are really fun. I enjoy the real-time comments. I think that's one of the best things about the Viki thing. So in this show, there's 2 gangs, or they're like organized criminal organizations, I guess, or mobsters. And in Korea, they tend to call these people thugs. Like they'll say like if you're in the mob there, you're like a thug or whatever. I don't know. So there's 2 gangs. There's the Bulldogs, and that's the one that the male lead was in. There's the Bulldogs, and then there's the Kitties. I'm not joking. One of the gangs is the Kitty Gang. So that's how you're like, okay, this is going to be kind of a non-serious program. Which is, so it's not like there's some action scenes, there's some fighting and stuff, but it's almost like not really believable because it's just they sort of make it like funny somehow. So there is some violence. There's some kind of rough language, which I'm like, whoa, okay. I did not expect them to drop some F-bombs, but they definitely do some of that. But the fact that the gangs are called the Bulldog Gang and the Kitty Gang, you're like, oh, like that's where you're like, that's totally not realistic, but that's fine. And they have actual mascots. So the Bulldog people have an actual French Bulldog, and the Bulldog wears the most ridiculous outfits, and the Bulldog is in a gold chain. So very frequently during the show, they'll cut away to the Bulldog outside near his doghouse, and he's just hanging out. He's wearing like a sports jersey and a gold chain on the dog. And then the leader of the Kitty Gang has like this big, goofy looking cat. And he wears very flashy, ridiculous outfits like tracksuits. He's got curly hair. He's got earrings. He's got jewelry and stuff. And the funny thing about the leader of the Kitty Gang is that the guy who plays the villain, I have a hard time kind of seeing him as the villain because this same actor played more comedic characters in the TV shows Vincenzo and Crash Landing on You. If you've seen Crash Landing on You, it's the guy who plays Sari's insurance agent, the funny kind of shorter guy. And in Vincenzo, he plays like the federal agent that ends up becoming like a Vincenzo fanboy. That same actor is playing the villain, the Kitty Gang leader in this show. So it's kind of hard to take this guy seriously as a villain just because, you've seen him in other roles where he's just very goofy. So that kind of makes me feel better because you're not like too worried about the characters, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find this. I gotta find this Bulldog though. The Bulldog, I gotta find a shot with the Bulldog. The Bulldog is freaking hysterical. Let me see if I can find this. All right, I'm going to have to go to a different episode. Let's go to like episode 5 or something. I got to find a shot of this Bulldog wearing the clothes. Another thing I'm also noticing is that the Viki fans are going crazy over this male lead. Like they love... I haven't seen this guy in any other show, so I was not familiar with him, but he has a very deep voice, and the ladies are going crazy over this dude in the comments. Let's just say they're very into him, and that's kind of comical to read too, because everyone's like constantly commenting about this guy, and they like him. They like the male lead. So that is so that's sort of the context for this show. I'm trying to find the Bulldog because the Bulldog is... All right, I got to find a shot of this Bulldog because it's really funny. He's like outside in the doghouse, and then he's like wearing clothes and the chain. I got to try to find something. Like they show him in at least every episode for like 2 seconds. And you're like, what is going on with this Bulldog? All right. Let me see if I can find a picture. Hold on a second. You're going to laugh. Let's see. You're really going to... All right. Let's see. Bulldog. I don't know who plays the Bulldog, but the Bulldog was pretty amazing. He's one of my favorite... Okay. All right. I found a photo. He's one of my favorite characters. All right. Here we go. All right. So here's the Bull. So isn't it just this? I mean, if this doesn't make you laugh, I don't know. Is this a spoiler? Does the dog get married? I didn't know that. So this is the dog. So you can see he's like, they'll just show a random shot of the dog outside wearing a gold chain, and like a goofy outfit. And you're like, this is, I mean, it just adds like comic relief. So here's the dog. And his name is just Bulldog. He doesn't have, like, they call him Bulldog. He doesn't have, like, any other name. So, that is My Sweet Mobster. So far, I'm enjoying the show. I think I would give it probably easily a 9. I hope it ends well. I'm about halfway through. It's got a lot of hijinks. And yeah, it's interesting that the guy owns like a meat process. He's like the CEO of a meat processing company. Oh, of course, there's the scene where the two leads get locked in a freezer accidentally. That's for some reason, a lot of shows is they get locked in a freezer together. And another thing that I appreciated is that they delve into some ethical issues of content creators, which I thought was, kind of relatable. So there's a couple things that there's at one event that the lead female is at, a fight breaks out and they happen to get it on tape. Her camera guy catches it on tape, and then her entertainment company uploads the video to her channel with a certain, like, it's edited in a way where it makes certain people look bad. And they, she doesn't even know the video was uploaded. And it ends up like really hurting. So it makes the people that work at this meat company look bad. And the video goes viral, and then it ends up hurting the meat company people, including her, soon to be boyfriend. So it kind of goes into like the ramifications for for content she doesn't know. And then it ends up really hurting these, ends up having very negative ramifications on the meat company. And of course, she has no control over the content. There's also another storyline where she promotes this organic milk company like it's like a sponsor. And then a bunch of kids end up getting sick because they drank the milk. And she feels terrible. Of course, she didn't know the milk was going to make kids sick. But it also kind of goes into the ethical issues of accepting sponsorships or doing promotions and endorsing companies because, how much of a content creator's responsibility do you have to vet the company and make sure their product is safe or their product, is okay for children? And that ends up getting, like, spoiler alert, that she ends up, like, kind of getting canned for that. Even though the company was the one that found her that particular sponsorship opportunity. And the other angle they get into is that she's not a very successful content creator. Like, her channel isn't really that huge. So at this point in the show, she kind of got fired from doing the channel. So she's no longer doing the content. So it goes into some really interesting issues for content creators that I found pretty... I thought it was good to cover that sort of thing. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here. All right, we got somebody that started No Gain, No Love. Okay, I'm going to probably watch that one hopefully in the next few weeks. I'm watching a French police show with the subtitles, called Hip. It's on Hulu. All right, Jenny has left the building. Are you going to watch Matlock? Is Matlock back? All right. All right, if you have Netflix, The Perfect Couple is good. All right, Vanessa's watching The Golden Age on Viki. All right, cool. The Golden Age is... All right, we got another Viki subscriber here. Cool. All right, well, I'm glad at least someone else here knows what I'm, knows what I'm talking about. I have a British friend who has watched Coronation Street since 1960. She subscribes to BritBox to see in the USA. All right, yeah, we got Crash Land. Okay, so Vanessa, you know what I'm talking about. The guy who plays, like, the insurance agent. The one who's, like, trying to prove that Sari didn't really die. And then he played the federal agent that's supposed to be investigating Vincenzo and busting him. But he ends up helping Vincenzo. That guy plays the villain in My Sweet Mobster. But again, it's hard to take him, like, you really, like, don't dislike him in the show because, like, I've seen him in those other shows. And he was cool. So, yeah, the dog is kind of awesome. And the cat is actually pretty... I like the cat character as well. Yeah, it's a good show so far. Yes, you remember that guy. You know who I'm talking about. He's a great actor, and he's been in a bunch of stuff. And he often plays, like, a real... like, just a funny character. All right, sounds interesting. There's a certain quilting box that is known to be crap. Oh, boy. But some creator who was sent the box say it's fantastic and you should get it. Ooh, I stopped watching those creators. Yeah, and I think it's interesting that they bring up some of those issues because, it's like how... you know, how much responsibility and, you know, liability do you have as a content creator for the stuff that you are sharing with your audience? And I think that was interesting. You know, like this week, Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, and I think KSI, they got in some hot water because they're promoting a product to children that's basically Lunchables. It's called Lunchly, and they're getting a lot of heat because a lot of people are saying that they shouldn't be promoting crap food to children. So, and they're like, oh, you know, so, you know, there's a lot of interesting issues for that type of thing. Okay, AS, I'm on the lookout for a K-drama with sewing fashion design. All right, I got you here. All right, I got you. All right, AS, there was one show called, let me see here, Park's Marriage Contract on Viki. That one, she's like a fashion designer. Let's see, Park Marriage Contract. Oh, the story of Park's Marriage Contract. That one, she's a fashion designer. There have been a few other ones. I'm trying to think. There was another one I watched on I think this one's on Amazon Prime Video. It's like The Spies Who Loved Me. I think that's on Amazon Prime Video. She is a wedding dress designer, so there's some like sewing and design. And there, yeah, The Spy Who Loved Me. Okay, The Spies. I think I've seen both titles. Okay, let's see what it actually is. Okay, The Spies Who Loved Me. Okay, here, I'll show you this. So in this one, the main female lead is like a wedding dress designer. So there's some like scissors, that kind of thing. I don't know how much sewing there is. There is, and yeah, the story of Park's Marriage Contract. She's like a fashion designer, so you'd probably enjoy that type of thing. I actually didn't finish The Spies Who Loved Me. I gotta finish that at some point. They kind of lost me at a certain point, but I'll get back to it someday. I will get back to it. But there have been a few with some sewing. Cinderella and the Four Knights. The second female lead is like a fashion design student. But just a caveat, everyone really disliked her character, so just a warning. Everybody really hated her for some reason. She is, yeah, I don't know. So there's a character named Haiji, and she's like some sort of fashion design student in there or something. So that one has some fashion in there. All right, love the fabric upcycling places. We have 2 local places in Vancouver that sell Deadstock fabrics, FABSCRAP BC and our Social Fabric. Both have online stores. Hey, good to know. Thank you for sharing, Leah. Thank you for sharing. All right, so there's one other thing I gotta bring up about my sweet Mobster because it's kind of driving me a little crazy. All right. They really did the lead actress dirty with the hair, makeup, and wardrobe styling. I don't know what's going on. So, this actress, her name is Han Sunhwa, and I've seen her in other shows. She looks so different that I did not recognize her at all. Like, this haircut, man, this is not... Like, the styling, the makeup, it's just not, like... She's like 33 or something, and I feel like they're trying to make her look 12. I just don't think she, like her, a lot of people are commenting too about the poor styling choices. Like, they're saying she's dressing like a grandma, and she kind of is. Like, I just don't think this is a very flattering look for this actress. I don't know why they're trying to make her look 12. This haircut is not doing her any favors. I'm sorry, but, like, I was just really, like, these outfits are very strange. Okay, so, and, like, I'm not saying she's gotta, like, have a face full of makeup, but, like, it looks like she's wearing no makeup, and I just don't know why. I don't know what's going on. So, okay, here's the lead actor that everyone's going crazy over. Like, they just do not make her, like, I just feel like, look at this gal. They made her look really good. I feel like, I'm wondering if she's I'm just wondering if the lead female is going to get a glow up at some point, or like a makeover. because I don't know if they're trying to make her look like unattractive. This woman is very extremely attractive because I've seen her in other shows and they made her look so like dowdy that I didn't even know it was the same actress. So I don't know if it's just me, but I was just, okay, is the intent to make her look like that because she hosts a kids channel? Like, maybe, I don't know, but like the outfits in the show are very puzzling. They don't make a lot of sense. And I want to show you another clip because the first time I saw Han Sun-hwa was in another show. And the other show was called Marriage Not Dating. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's on Amazon Prime Video. Literally one of my all-time favorite shows. And I want to show you this clip because you're going to be like, that's not even the same person. I'm going to try to show you like a little bit because you're going to be like, I want to show you the difference between that show and this show. And this show was 10 years ago. So she was 10 years younger in this show than she is now. She was like probably like 23 when she was in Marriage Not Dating, definitely in my top 5 of all K-dramas. All right, so I just want to show you this because it's really funny. So this is like her first appearance in the show. Okay, so you see what I'm talking about here? Like, I don't know how she can look like this in Marriage Not Dating, and then they make her look like a little kid in this My Sweet Mobster show. I mean, I get that this is 10 years ago, but why can't they make her look like this in I don't understand. Like, she's a total smoke show in this other show. She's a very attractive person. I just don't know why they had to make her look so unattractive in this current show. But yeah, in this other show, she plays like a really crazy, she's super crazy, and she's the ex-fiance of that guy with the dark hair, Gongate. So that's Han Sun-hwa. And she also plays like the girlfriend in another show called Backstreet Wookie. So that's her other role. But yeah, I don't understand it because I was like, I saw it and I did not know it was, I just had no idea it was even the same person. She just doesn't look the same at all. Here, and I'll show you another clip of her without the sunglasses. I feel like they need to give her that hair in My Sweet Mobster, get rid of the bangs, and give her some flattering clothing. But I don't know, I feel like someone with the wardrobe department hates her or something because they just make her look not very good in this show. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. So that is My Sweet Mobster. I'm about halfway through. I'll give you guys an update next week if I finish the show. So far, I would probably give it probably like a 9, something like that. So that is K-Drama Corner. All right, yeah, AS, you got some stuff to check out. If I can think of some other ones with sewing, I think I saw another show with some sewing too in it recently, but I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it might have been the show, I think it was in the show Perfect Marriage Revenge. I think that one had a little bit of sewing in it too. I'm trying to remember though. But yeah, the story of Park's marriage contract and The Spies Who Love Me both had like fashion design as an element. You see, you probably look like that. All right, guys. So that's about it for this week's show. I do want to give another shout out to tonight's sponsor, and that is the Sewing Report Etsy shop, where you can find fabric and sewing supplies. Again, shopping here helps support Sewing Report and Sewing Report Live, and I just listed some new fabric. We also have sewing labels, notions, all kinds of fun stuff that you can use for your sewing room, and you can find me at sewingreport.etsy.com. So again, sewingreport.etsy.com. I appreciate everyone who has placed an order. And yeah, we had a lot to go over tonight. We really did. A lot to go over. But yeah, and check out FABSCRAP. There's my link in the description box. So thank you all for watching. And again, I do want to thank both the Debbies for the super stickers. I greatly appreciate that. And I greatly appreciate everyone that tuned in tonight. We had kind of a longer show than usual. So I hope everyone has a great week ahead. Some fun sewing times. And I will see y'all again next week for the latest in sewing and craft news. I'm Jen with the Sewing Report. You guys have a great week. And remember, whatever you're doing, make it fun. We're going to kick on the music again. And we'll play us out here.